Hello and welcome to episode 11 of our 2003 campaign, and we are now entering the endgame. We are of course on brutal, for those who have forgotten it. But yeah, what have we accomplished in the last episode? We have reached the first fusion drive. We went for the Z-pinch, not sure how to pronounce it actually, and then we went for the Zeta Deuteron drive with the Z-pinch fusion reactor 2 here. And from that we made a few ships. The first fusion laser class battleship. It's actually the only one I designed for now, and I'm going to do some in between, but our shipyards are full, so don't need one. I want to make one with the flagship module in there. Or did I do that already? No, I didn't. So, yeah, one with the flagship module in there, and we are going to build up more stuff. What I also did is build two more naval yards here, 3 and 4. So these will add another 4 shipyards each into our realm. And with that, I think we are, for the moment, good to go. We could make more, but I'm not sure I should. Because, yeah, maybe we should. Maybe at least one more on Mars, maybe? Why not? Could be a thing. I think it's enough though. We do have already 15 under construction. It only takes about 200 days, so it's really fast. I think that will be enough. We're going to run out of building, shipbuilding pretty soon, because mission control will be the biggest gap. So what I'm also going to do, I think I made one already. Marine ship. This one, the class here. I need to build this one. I want to build it on Mars. So one of the capital ships... Ah no, we have one left here. Right, I already thought about that. And then we are going to take over the resistance bases on Mars as well. So the idea now is to take over all of Mars, squeeze it into our mission control, and then build them up with ops centers and research, and so on. In the end, we are basically applying the same template that we are applying on the other bases as well. So, and with that, Earth. We are going to now break our non-aggression pact with the resistance here, and we are going to go and take over all that Grand Columbia can claim. Of course, there are some stuff that's going to be hostile here, like these two. I cannot fix that. And Montevideo down here is also still hostile, but that's also something I'm going to just take or ignore. I'm not sure if I even take it, but yeah. So most importantly are all these countries here adding a decent economy to it, mission control boost and everything we want, boosting up our nation here, filling more of our control cap. That's the goal. And after that, I think I'm going to expand the United Arab League, but it might be that we are on cap. So that would go on hold. And we have to see where we are with our boost economy afterwards and our mission control. But for Earth, that's going to be it. So we do have the United States, we do have Mexico, or Grand Columbia rather. We're going to expand this. We have the United Arab League, and we do have India here. India, of course, waiting for the projects from Great Nations, which we didn't research. Because we still need the Great Nations Global Tech, which are really intentionally skipped in this scenario, because you get a lot of unification projects from the special scenario projects, so we didn't have the need to rush that one down. Also need the Darien Gap Road to move from North to South America, or Central to South America, and that's it. But now the most interesting thing will be the Deep System Skywatch here, which should be finished in a second. Ooh, loose packet. And make emergency repair. Shoot down the package. Wow. Loose income. Okay, fine. Need to sell a bit for our money problems. Here we go. And now Deep System Skywatch would come in. There we go. Deep System Skywatch has been researched by someone, and We do now see everything from the aliens. It's a lot. They would get... Oh, wow, they would get coefficient system. That's nothing we need. Interesting. I think I'm going to push the molecular assemblers into extended space survival here. We don't need projects urgently, except for the Darien Gap Road. But yeah, we do have a ship, we do have a fighting chance, we do have a pretty good ship actually. The combat rating of our fusion laser ship is 63, not bad. So, of course it's not as high as one of these missile carrier battleships that I have designed here, which have combat rating 363. They are full firepower. But yeah, it's quite fun, because the aliens are not trying to fly to us, to Earth nor Mars, but they have massive amounts of fleet. So the problem on the horizon is this: 565 ships. Oh boy, we are in for a treat. 49 ships on Aspasia in the asteroid belt. So they are just waiting there because they are not trying. They don't dare flying to Earth or Mars because of our big fleet there. However, if they decide to send 40 ships, our fleet can do nothing against it. We just have combat rating. We don't have actually fighting strength here. Because all of these... I mean, the laser defense battleships are decent, but the missile torpedo classes will just disappear in their point defense. It's insane. So we just need to hope that the new classes will finish in 200 days and that they will not attack beforehand. If they move out with a 40 ship fleet, we are in for a problem. But yeah, that's gonna be funny, I think. Yeah, molecular assemblers to get the diamondoid armor. Eventually, or the adamantine armor. Extended space survival, of course, to get the colony Habs going. Because that's what we need to get even more mission control by upgrading to tier 3, and then the command center to get us plus 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not sure how many control points, not mission control it will give us. But yeah, that's the urgency. Of course, we are also going to continue hunting down mining orcs here whenever they come available. But we currently have 140% here, 80% here, 100% here, 100% here, and 80% here. So it's still improvable because we are still lacking some projects, especially for volatiles, but we do have a pretty decent stockpile for everything. And with that, I think I'm going to just more or less jump forward here, due to the fact that we are just going to conquer stuff and wait out until the first batch of fleets is done. And for that we also need the mission control that we conquer here. So, looking forward to that.
Mission complete.
And hopefully that will work out fine. Okay, we want to attack first, I think, El Salvador here. It will call in Britain, but we don't care, because they will be blockaded due to our naval strength. El Salvador is first. Here we go. Maybe we should have declared here first, but it doesn't matter. Then we are going to, of course, call in the US. Perfect. And then we are going to move in, and in the next mission phase, we are going to declare 1, 2, 3, 4 wars in one go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wars in one go. Maybe not, because we don't have the agents for that. But basically, that's the principle. We are just going to eat our way through Central America and South America now. So, yeah, let's jump forward, see if we can finish the battleships before the alien punch arrives. Okay, we are now in March 2017. And the conquest here of Central South America is done. Gran Colombia is almost at its maximum extent. We can still take Cuba and half of Haiti. We're probably going to do eventually, but not right now. And the expansion of the Arab League will happen as soon as the situation here in Gran Colombia has cooled down a bit. The cohesion is pretty low. We also got hit by the events. They have not come in peace, and a wave of fear recently, which did hurt. So the cohesion is terrible, and some others terrible. The cohesion here is also relatively low, while in India it's quite high, so therefore we don't have any unrest anymore here in India. And yeah, Unity 1 can stay, but we are pushing mostly knowledge now. Yeah, so that's the one thing. The other thing is we are going to push mission to Mercury here to get a bit more mining cap here, plus 3 mining modules that we can support, due to the fact that we have now gone up to 25 Mars bases. And this would get us to 24, but of course we also have 5 asteroid bases, so we are actually at 30 mining bases. We need this, and we still have to deactivate a few. What I'm also going to do is, afterwards I'm going to push the fusion reactor array, because I need to rework our Earth station, that we can also squeeze in an ops center there. Because we really need any kind of source of mission control now, wherever we can get it. And I also want a nanofactory around Earth. 1 per station should be enough. And this way we also solve some of our pressing money concerns here. So that's the fusion platform. Go back into self-driving vehicles here, but we are going to not push it for now. That I'm going to... Yeah, let's wrap up the mission to Mercury. I think I'm going to pick mission to Saturn immediately afterwards. This should free up around 4 mission control. And more stuff finishing up here on Mars, on our bases. But that's going to be a big thing. The other problem we face is the battleships are finishing up. So in 11 days we also get a very big injection of mission control from those ships. I'm not sure what we want to disband. Probably the monitors that we have left, the rocket monitors. But also maybe I'm just going to start deactivating some research campuses. And accept the fact that we have lower research for a while. Because the mission control problem will not be resolved easily. So mission to Saturn next. Get even more mining. And then we are at 30 mining modules when that one is done. Yep, perfect. And this should help a lot. Yeah, really a lot. So now let's get to the ship's construction.
Mission complete.
Ah yeah, we make peace with Iran. Go. And 3, 2, 1. And... yeah. 30 over cap. Yeah, but in the end, we are going to now merge these up here. And move them wherever they need to be. And then the big question is, okay, what do we do with it? Okay, that's it? No, one is left here. That one will also go to Earth defense here. There we go. Perfect. Then let's go a few forward here until the fleets have arrived. Go in Mars defense, go in Earth defense, go in Earth defense. There we go. So on Mars, we definitely want to get rid of the monitor classes here. So that's simple. They don't have officers. Okay, good. On Earth, do we have monitors left as well? Yes, 1. So that one will go as well. These were the weakest ships we had. The old monitor classes here, even though they were useful with the rockets here and missiles, however, they have now done its job. Most of them I never saw combat, so that's a thing. The flagship we need to keep because we don't have a flagship. No, we don't have the fusion flagship done yet. Actually, I don't think I'm constructing one on Mars, so that was a mistake, right? Yes, I don't. So let's make 2 here as well, just in case. So now we are 20. Actually, it's only 16 over cap. So we could reduce the fleet a bit to keep the... we have 20 ships at Mars. I'm willing to go down to 18. So the question is, what do we remove? Defense laser, defense... defense laser, green arc. That's the one with still with the grid drive here. With the, not with the grid drive, but the with the... how it's called? Rocket engine, whatever. I'm leaning towards the torpedo battleship here. Let's get rid of 2 of those. Although they have a lot of punch. And they don't have that either, right? They don't have any officers. No, they don't. So we want to scuttle these 2. That brings us down to 270. On Earth, we definitely have too many ships. So we can get rid of something here. Defense laser. I think I'm going to remove 2 of the old defense laser ships here. Or is there any class that we can remove because we only have 1 ship? Defense rail torpedo, no, they are useful. Missile torpedo, they are useful. Torpedo point defense is also useful. Yeah, maybe we remove just 2 of those defense rail torpedo. So they are, I think, the weakest one. These 2 here, perfect. It's exactly the 2 that are left. Going to disband these 2. There we go. So now we have still 7 left. But I don't want to go... We have 30 ships though. Okay, 2 more will not hurt. I think I'm going to remove 2 of the laser defenses here. Purely due to the fact that they are old school with the rocket engine. Therefore not really worth it. And now we are pretty close. I think I'm going to just deactivate the research campus on these 2 bases here. That should solve it. There we go. Now mission control is fine. Yeah, so until we have solved the mission control crisis, yeah, I don't know. That's a problem. We are maxed out everywhere. Here, 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 almost here. We can expand the United Arab League soon, and India is also maxed out. Therefore, fusion reactor array is going to be next here. We're going to start everything again. With the fusion reactor array, we can rework our Earth stations due to the fact that they have a lot more energy. There we go. And I think the fusion outpost kit, I don't think we need that one. Let's go back into ships of the line. And we're going to push colony Habs definitely, so that we can start upgrading. And then, yeah, I think that's going to be first. We need Earth space economy and then fleet logistics to have the command center unlocked. So that's still far, far, far away. But yeah, we'll be fine eventually, I think. We just have to get through this crunch and somehow get a fleet together. I would imagine like 20 ships at the starting point that we can send somewhere for an attack in the asteroid belt just to test it out. That would be my goal here. So, and now I can go through, for example, the shipyard here. On the other hand, that would be unfortunate, but we can get rid of the broadcast outlet here and the administration node. We don't need the 4 mission control urgently. So we can add this in back again later. Therefore, add a fusion and then add an ops center here. So, like this, and then the ops center. Here we go. We have enough energy for this. We wait until this finishes, and then we can upgrade the other stuff here. I want to have the impact on us as little as possible in regards to the energy requirements. So that's what we're going to do. And fusion reactor array, there we go. So this works out perfectly. Each of those will add 4 mission control. Of course, it will cost us a lot. I will also add in nanofactories later to solve that long term. We do have enough metal for sale, and we're going to get the integrated resource market project here. That will increase the price for resource sales significantly. That should finally fix our money issues forever. But now I have to go through all these other stations here as well. We might have a minor impact on the research from this, but let's see. Maybe I can avoid it. For now, I'm going to just jump forward here. Unless the aliens start moving, then of course I'm going to talk about it and show it, because we want to fight. So, we have finally finished exotics. And as we can see, we do have 102 in reserve already from all the things we did. Plus the 75 from the event. So really good. Now we do have the exotic hybrid projects coming up now, which I'm probably going to take to get to the exotic spike radiator. So we want to take those as soon as possible. Exotic hybrid system. Here we go. So we don't care about the quest line for now. We can go into that whenever we want to. That I want to get the better radiator, reduce our mass even further, because the exotic spike radiator is of course pretty damn good, and it's not even that expensive. So if we were to, let's see, here we go. This one is only 41 tons cost, so that's even further down from the 55 we currently use, and the costs are extremely low. That's the benefit of it. We also get the hydrant trap, which is the upgrade, I think, to the... No, we don't even have the slush hydrogen tankage. Okay, so that's what we need to do for this to work out. Good. And flow stabilized Z-pinch fusion reactor. Right, there's also this drive, which we can do later, which is still a Z-pinch, which is really good. And then we could theoretically go into this drive if we want to, potentially. So the Zeta Deuteron here is still only water as input, but its drive and KPS are pretty good. And so the Firefly, as it's called, is of course a decent option, but very expensive to get to. But overall, it's still a lot cheaper than trying to get to the inertial confinement fusion reactor 5 and 6 and then make the best drive possible in this game, which we don't really want to. We want to, but we don't have the resources and the research output for this. Now, what has happened in between, as you can see here, is that China has flipped to the alien admin. Apparently, I didn't pay attention to it too well. Apparently, in between, the aliens took it over and then flipped it over after a while. So that's fine with me, because we can slowly start reconquering it. I'm going to finish the job here in Pakistan a 4th time, I think, until we get the project done. So we are going with unity movement here, and then I'm going to actually push this one to get great nations as soon as possible now, to get started on the Greater India project here, because we are down to 53 capacity. We already annexed Morocco here. However, I don't want to break into Arabia due to the fact that we do have a Russia alliance here on Jordan. I could... Can we declare war? Actually, we can. And in this case, we maybe want to do this and just snag Arabia itself. The problem here is that we do have a nuke here, a nuke here, no here, but another one here. So this territory requires a lot of micromanagement to actually flip it over, which is super annoying to do. Instead, I think I'm going to just watch here. I may want to support the initiative against the alien admin, because all the armies from China are streaming through Russia into Europe soon. However, they do have 12 armies on their own. They should be fine. And I made peace with them, so they are no longer blockaded. And then they can also retake, for example, Barcelona from the Union. All these kind of things will be nice. And of course, the aliens are working hard here in the Iberian Peninsula to eventually flip this over. So this is basically handing territory to the Union, European Union, from the admin. And if I can keep them busy here as well, that might work out even better. I think that I'm going to just annex these bits here for now, and then maybe this bit here, and potentially recreate China here in Kunming. Yeah, it's the only claim, so that I have a hold on it in case that it revolts or something. Although the unrest is currently relatively low, but it's also held down from armies and other things. However, the cohesion will go down over time, and losing armies, for example, will make it worse for them. They are going to lose armies a lot against my very high-tech army. So I started to again invest into it. We are now above 5.0.3. So I'm going to invest 37% from the US budget into military again, just to get a bit more punch for this conquest here, because we need to get rid of it. And probably keep it for ourselves as well. Which will open up the problem, where do we get more control points? And one thing would be the admin management research here, which is going to give us +5, so we can do this in multiple times soon. And then this should help us out a bit to create China here. And later we do big India here, conquer all that stuff as well. And then we should probably be fine for the, more or less the end game, or rather on Earth. I don't know what the final conditions were exactly, but yeah, we will find out. Our money budget is really terrible. We could sell 100 for 15,000. No, just say 100 here. We wait for this project actually, Integrated Earth Space Economy, to get 200% more money from metal sales. That's going to be massive. And we also should get new mining orcs from this tech, which we are desperately waiting for as well. The big question is currently, what do we take?
Policy direction complete.
After... Yes, let's make peace here. And I think now we are only at war with the admin, right? Yes, everything is resolved again. We are at peace, except for India and US, which are at war with the alien admin. Pretty good. We should potentially get one army here, due to the fact that we need to be able to declare war here, just in case. But it's not urgent. We are not at great nations anytime soon. Meanwhile, mission control keeps to be a problem. However, now with the project finishing up here, mission to Saturn of technology, curious, nice. So most of Spain
The
will be
online shopping
over.
guy and the electric car guy can squabble over Mars all they like.
Okay, we're going to just send out the probes, even though they will probably never arrive in time. What do we do now? We could immediately go for outer solar system, outer planets I mean, but I think diamondoids is more important. We also need ultra capacitors to eventually get the phasers. But diamondoids would be the better armor, therefore decrease our weight of our ships. Ring Habs can rate a bit. We are actually on colony core, so that's going to finish up as well in a second. Now let's wrap up unity movement. Go into great nations. There we go. Colony core done. Colony mining complex. We don't need the institutes though. This one we want. This one we don't. This one we want. This we don't. So now we are going to just get the colony complex going, and afterwards the nanofactory and so on. And we can start with the limited amount of mission control that we have. We can start upgrading. And then we are going to make a new template for these bases. Probably basically add nanofactories to it, a bit more energy, a second farm, and so on. I will show off the result. Probably are going to add some research modules to it just to rake in the +10 research output and the few percentages that we can rake in, which will help us a bit. We can see here we do have 59% already, so we are getting close to the maximum that we can get from science facilities. But yeah, we need the nanofactories to solve our economy. and convert these resources into cash, cash, cash. But yeah, now we are going to free Pakistan here temporarily. Probably the Aliens will flip it over once again. And actually we can flip 2 bases to Colony. Okay. I'm not going to add further research campuses to our bases here, because I will actually consider doing the opposite. So moving away from the research campuses just to free up mission control for more ships. We have another batch of ships coming in soon, which is going to be 30... Oh yeah, actually 6 days. Ouch. Oh, we can also activate some of our mines again, so that's also possible. Nice. I have to go through my mines here on Mars and get them online again. But what do we do with the mission control? Do we have to disband some of our old ships? I guess we have to. Our ops centers here will finish up in October. That's still 2 months away. Not great. I think I have to queue up another batch of ships as well, because we want to have as many of these fusion laser ships as we can. I'd rather get rid of the torpedoes and so on. That will lower our combat value significantly. However, these ships are actually able to go outside if we want to. And I think the aliens are just waiting for it. Their fleet count is just going up. They are now at 610. Whatever we do, Aspasia is waiting. And yeah, so many ships out here. 42 on Ceres as well, and 20 on Marapi. This is a Lorelei even here, another 24. Ooh, no, it's even more. Oh, that's another. There's so many ships waiting for us, which are just not doing anything right now because they don't want to and don't want to risk it. But if we start tickling the hornet's nest, all hell will break loose. But if I can get 20 to 30 ships into a combat group and fly out, hopefully that's a good idea. But I really want to start the fight. And we have to start somewhere. But without Marines, it's also pretty ugly. So I'm not sure yet. We have to somehow find a solution to get the fight with the aliens. On the other hand, we do have the Humanity First Spartans done. So we could also consider just building, I don't know, I think every of that would be 30 value of Marines. Yes, they are assault value of 30 total. While a frigate would get us 50 for 2 control points. That's not the same, that's actually lower. Monitor has even less. Destroyer has also 50 for 2 if we put everything in. The cruiser for 3 would be 60, 70. Still worse. So we are going with the Corvette here. Put a lot of Marines in there. Make a good drive and so on. And then we need around 20 mission control and Marines to get rid of bases. But we are still, I think we are still far away from that. I think we need to get the command centers going with the integrated Earth space economy, so probably we should push this. I mean, rather with fleet logistics, that's what we need. And yeah, we are so tight on everything. Although we are going to get 54 from all the ops centers we are constructing, so it's not terrible. And the building a Corvette is only 51 days on our shipyard, so super fast. And we do have a lot. We have 16, I think, on Earth alone. Yeah, each naval yard has 4, so we have 16. Well, basically it's one batch of ships that gets us enough punch to take a base out. But we also need the fleet to fight them first. And also, ooh, I forgot. I still need... Right, I completely forgot about that. We need the fusion platform kit. Here we go. On one of our ships. Fusion colonizer. There we go. And we have to construct that one. I completely forgot about that. So we are going to just throw it in here. 1, 2, 3 should be fine on Earth. But we have to wait for those before we can move out. But this also opens up the question for me, what do I want to do in 6 days when the ships finish? Because... Oh! Really? Ah yeah, I got a crackdown last phase. Okay, we can fix that. Can be a problem. Okay, 30% damage. Ouch.
Together, we're stronger. Apart, we're...
Okay, unity movements, and now Great Nations. Here we go. 30... Only 10,000. Ooh, that's cheaper. Probably because all of these projects have been moved out. So you will go here and heal up. While we fight this out. Yeah, let me resolve this issue here. Exactly. Obsolete. Delete. Obsolete. 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 I don't know. Obsolete. Obsolete. Yes. No. Maybe. Maybe. I don't think not in this campaign, no. No. Okay. Okay, now I have to resolve this issue here. I'm really not sure. I think the solution will be that I deactivate some research campuses for 2 months until all of that is done. It's probably the cheapest solution. We're going to drop a bit in mission control as soon as they've merged up with the defense forces here. And it basically also means I'm going to build another batch of these ships. Especially here on Earth. So let's rebuild another 8. And then on Mars we do have a bit of 3 slots here as well. So let's just build them as well. Keep one open for eventual Marines. Yeah. A lot of issues. But we can fix those. Shouldn't be a problem. Just takes time. We are still only 14 years in, so we are still very fast, in my opinion, for the very hard startup conditions and start conditions that we had. Although the aliens are also very advanced with 600 chips. Ouch. Well, to wrap up this episode, we are reaching the integrated resource market here. That's a tech that's going to give us 200% more revenue from space sales. Currently we get 1.6 per metal, which has been keeping us alive. Let's see how much we would get afterwards. So instead of 1.6, let's see. Go into United America, I think. Or Greater India, let's see. Yeah, now we get 3.1. Okay, basically double. And that's of course very useful because now the same amount we got from 1000 we get from 500 metal. Quite the increase. Meanwhile, we have now been able to get all the alien admin, or most of the alien admin armies here into Pakistan. I also made an army in India, which is helping us fight here. I want to make a second one, also for unrest purposes later on when we expand here. And with that, we are now facing these armies here from the alien. They are now moving to the capital here, which is here in Lahore. And we are going to, however, move with our armies behind this. So the Indian army currently is just bait to keep them busy, to make sure that they don't heal. Oh, Tenerife has flipped as well. As we can see here, they are moving stuff around. This should open up a window for the European Union here, to hopefully eventually go after the Spanish provinces. But yeah, so we are going to just shoot on these guys here, and then take this province here because we now have the I'm not sure how the name is pronounced. There it was, this one. Akant Barat is done, which gives us hostile claims on these two provinces. So we are going to take 2, not more than these 2, because that will else be too nasty in regards to an impact on unrest and so on. There we go. Now they moved here all. They will defend. But they will be busy with that army until I have taken over this province here. We are 64%. That should go relatively fast. And then we move over here. And as this is the capital, we should be able to destroy them there. Whoa! What a timing. I somewhat expected it to happen, but not this fast. So now they went up and have a lot more armies, which is a problem. Because they will now move these over here as well. Ooh. Yeah, we definitely have to bump up our military priority. Oh, there we had 5.1, so that's good. Maybe we go out of knowledge a bit here. Just push everything we have into military now. Just to make these conquests as easy as possible. And when this is done here, there we go. Almost done. There we go. Karachi is done. And now we can move over here. Problem is that I expect these armies to either move to Europe or move to us. Not sure. But the good thing is now that with Russia gone, the 70 nukes or 60 nukes they had are also gone. Which opens up the possibility to expand in Arabia again. Because the initiative here was allied to Russia or something. Not sure who it was, or maybe something was allied to Russia here. Which was facing a problem for me because it could risk a nuclear escalation, which I don't want to happen. But yeah. Now we follow up, go here, take them out. But this is the end of the episode. We have now 306 of 337 mission control. However, more ships are coming in. We are happily producing whatever we can. Like fusion laser classes, colonizer classes, some railgun classes that are created in between. Some of those are actually finishing up in a second. And we have a pretty good, solid fleet with that. We are also on the way to fleet logistics here, which is going to open up the command center. It also opened up the independent commands and the fleet officers' schoolhouses. Really 3 nice projects. So the one is, of course, the command center we want for the upgrade to command output. Independent command gives us a reduction from ships, and the fleet officers gives us a spawn rate. So these 2 projects alone will open up a lot of mission control for us. Basically all the bases we currently have, which is around 30 to 40, I think 35 with the Earth bases here, maybe even closer to 40, would go up from +4 to +10. So we would see around 40 times 6. Yeah, 240 mission control injection. That will solve all issues we have. 40 times 6? Yeah, that's 240. Yeah, when this is done, we will have all the mission control we need. We can then even go into Titanic spacecraft here, because Diamondoid is soon finished. Fleet logistics is on its way. So we can start on Titanic, get the Titans, and then we can also build the late game ships we want. But we can also just finish it with the battle cruisers and battleships we have. We're just going to constantly produce now. All the metals we have and the stuff will go in there until we have better drives and better engines. Our incomes are really solid. The aliens are just building up the same way we do. So we have 57 ships with 7,000 power, 4,000 around Earth, 3.4k around Mars. And the aliens, of course, do have very, very, very big fleets here, sitting on certain asteroids and wherever they are. And it's just a question of time that they move. So Aspasia here, for example, is the big base for them within the closer regions of Earth. If we take here, you can see here they have so many ships here. But it's fine. They're not yet moving out because they are probably scared by the fleet capacity we have around our two planets, which is really the benefit of having these high combat rating ship classes like these missile torpedoes and torpedo PDs, as they are really scary. If it only get worse when we finish more battleships, we also get diamondoids, ultra capacitors, leads to phasers. We are on a good way. We are pretty much in a stalemate with the aliens right now. I'm pretty confident if they would move out to send like 5,000 to 6,000 fleet strength to us that we could defeat it. But probably only once. So if they would send a second fleet like that, we wouldn't. But so far they haven't risked that, which is pretty good. Good for us. The question is now, what do I do with the mission control here? We still have a bit left. I already started upgrades on the first 10 Mars bases. I think that I'm going to continue with maybe not. Let me think about it. We do have how much time? 120 days. Roughly 120 days. Then we get more ships. Yeah, I think I'm going to sneak in the asteroid bases and maybe another 5 Mars bases here. It should be fine. Mercury also still is upgrading. November it will be done. Can we afford this? We have 66 when they are done. There's 20% reduction from the flagship module. That's only around 50, which is still a lot more than we have. Yeah, I think I'm not going to upgrade. I'm not going to upgrade any further because I need to get the command center first. This will take around half a year. Then we have fleet logistics. Actually, we don't need to push United North America. It's not that important. Instead, we want the fleet logistics here. March 18, so it's less than half a year. Should have pushed this earlier already, but I was busy with these projects here. So then we have the command center. That takes half a year to upgrade. When we get the first 10 bases upgraded to command, then we are in a really good spot. Plus the 50% from independent commands will also cut a big chunk. So I think in a year or something, we will have massive amounts of mission control available. Latest 1.5 years from now. And this will basically eat all the resources we have available. And I think we are going to get into a noble metal crunch despite all the stuff we have. Which means I really need to focus after the nanofactoring complex to research the molecular beneficiation here. Get the another 15% on top of this. We are already at 132%, but it can be higher. It should be higher. We need more. Which means that I definitely should upgrade the important... Yeah, I think I have to. So the important Habs with the noble metal income have to be upgraded. I will do this in between. But yeah, leave a like and subscribe, and see you in the next episode where all of this probably will be finished and wrapped up.